Oh my goodness. Hello, boss ladies. How are you? It's Kylie here. I am an intuitive business coach, energy healer, and today I'm running the final workshop for the Boss Lady Extravaganza. It's so fun. I hope you've been watching and playing along. I have really enjoyed creating this series of workshops. So if you haven't seen workshop 1 or workshop 2, they are really, really good. Go find them. Workshop 1 is on my Facebook profile and workshop 2 is on Instagram, or you could just sign up. I'll pop the link below this video when I get started, or when I get finished, I mean. And that way you'll just have the replay links sent to you, so you can come back and watch them in your own time. Now, today is a really juicy topic that's super important for any business, no matter what your kind of business you're in. It's really, really important to dial this in. And so I'm really excited to share it with you in a way that is really real. Like, sometimes when we think about doing the businessy stuff, like working on our business, it feels like this, like, oh, I need to go and learn how to do this thing. And it's like really freaking me out, because it's like, you know, people who go to uni learn about branding. People who go to, you know, you have to do all this extra study to know how to do a brand. You need to do all this extra study to know how to do marketing. But the reality is you're doing it anyway. If you have a business, you have a brand. It just might not be particularly intentional at this point. You know, you've kind of, it's like your branding is the people's experience of you, like how you are represented, how your business is represented in the world, right? And so you don't need a university degree to understand that, but the jargon and the language and that is commonly used to describe different aspects of our business often puts creatives and you know, business owners off, because it's like, well, I'm a master at a particular trade, I'm a master at a particular skill, and I don't really know all the stuff about how to do businessy stuff. And it's like the businessy stuff has all the jargon and it sounds really confusing, and it gets our brains triggered from the time that our teacher was mean to us, because it made us look like a dummy in front of the rest of the class. Like, you know, we have all these things that get triggered because we are referencing them as something that we don't know, when it's actually stuff that we are already doing. Okay, so I'm benefiting from distilling this, because it's like there's so much that I could be doing that I haven't been doing in my business. It's easy for me to see it in my clients. Like, it's easy for me to address this when my clients bring their questions around this stuff to our sessions, but I hadn't been deploying this as much in my own business. And so I'm learning so much from what I'm sharing with you as well, in terms of, like, there's so many opportunities to deepen my business, to refine my business, and to bring more intention to my marketing, my branding, and that sort of thing. So first, let's recap what we've already covered so far. So in workshop 1, day 1, we talked about the importance of mastering your service, mastering your skills, really being an apprentice to learning the craft, right? We want to master your craft. And when we do that, when we really bring our A game to what we do, we not only deepen our talents and strengthen our skills, but we also distill what it is that is our point of difference. We really get to understand, well, what is our vibe? And we get to understand why we do things the way that we do it, and what might actually set us apart from other people in our industry, right? So it's absolutely essential, if you're running a business, to continually be deepening your skills, deepening your craft, mastering your craft, and letting it evolve, let yourself have that beginner mindset to keep bringing the best of you, to be curious about how you can improve, how you can grow, how you can deepen. Now, day 2, workshop 2, is really about going wide. So day 1 is to go deep, and day 2 is to go wide, right? And so when you are thinking about going wide, it's like, well, how can I expand my market, right? So this is marketing. How can I multiply my niche? So we still have niches, we still have specific audiences with specific needs and specific desires, but how can we create or service multiple audience niches, right? Multiple niches, multiple audiences. And for me, my first business, that was like, we were looking at different audiences. So for us, it was different subcultures, but who all wanted the same thing. They all had the same desire, and the same desire was that they wanted to have, you know, a visual identity that stood out, that was unique, that was expressive, that was interesting, that was was attention getting, that really stopped traffic, that was something made them feel $1 million, you know. So but we were like, we had multiple niches, so we were like servicing clients who were gothic aesthetic, as well as clients who were Harajuku Japanese fruits aesthetic. So they're two, like gothic is like all black and dramatic, and and then we have Harajuku fruits, which is like more color than you can possibly fit into one square, right? So we were servicing both, and then we're servicing, you know, high school formal events, and then we're also servicing people going to Mardi Gras. So it was like vastly different audiences, vastly different niches who have different desires, different problems, different desires, yet want the same outcome in the terms of how they feel. And so that meant that by multiplying our audiences, we could showcase the work that would call in and demonstrate to those audiences what it is, you know, that we can give them what they want, right? So very, very powerful. And then the second way we talked about going wide is with our aligned offerings. And so, you know, we talked about that quite a lot in workshop 2. So go watch that workshop in terms of aligned offerings, but it's really just about broadening your offerings without making yourself generic, right? Without watering down your point of difference. And there's a real art to doing that, and it takes intention, and you also want to balance it out in terms of adding the low-hanging fruit first, you know, like anything that's an easy add. You add it to your offerings, because then you're giving your audience more reasons to come in and to buy from you, right? So very, very good. Go watch workshop 2. It's over on my Instagram profile. It was amazing. So go watch it now. No, don't watch it now. Not now. Watch this one now. And that reminds me, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay below this video so I can send some juju to you as you are watching and going through, and make sure that you do answer the questions or do share along by commenting below this video, even if it is the replay, because I'll come back and read it, and I'd love to hear how it's landing for you. I want to know how it applies to your business. If there's any questions that you have, just come back and check it in there, and I'll be keeping an eye on it. So I'd love to hear from you. Right, so today we are talking about day 3's workshop topic, and that is to be a destination experience. Be a destination experience. What do I mean by that? Oh, it's a good topic. So what we want to do is we want to create an experience that immerses your client into your world. So your business needs to be a world within a world. Your business is a world, it's a pocket full of juju that is your deliciousness, that is your business's point of difference, your business's mastery, passion, dedication, devotion, love, you know, fun, thrills, all of the feels, your pocket in the universe. So you want to create a destination experience, be an immersive experience for your clients. And so when we do that, you know, it means that people can start to imagine and put what it would be like for them to put themselves into your world. And once they've had a taste of it, then they know that they feel safe, they know what's there, it feels how it feels, and they desire to come back, right? Like we have destination holidays, right? Where we, like, you might go to Bali once and be like, oh, it's the massages and the beaches and the people and the food, and it was amazing. Like, people go to Bali more than once, right? I've been to Bali 3 times. I've been to India 7 times. Like, they are destination experiences that you go to when you desire to have a certain experience, right? So this is why it is so important to be great at what you do, right? And when you are great at what you do and you have this destination experience dialed in, then you become the go-to for your audience, right? And so one of the benefits of being great at what you do is that your clients become a walking billboard for you. Like, you know, people have come back from Bali, you know, they have the tan, they have the beautiful sarongs, and they've got that, I've just been to Bali and been blissed out vibe about them. You know they've been to Bali, right? So it's like, or like wherever that might be, Hawaii or whatever, you know that people have that vibe, right? Like, it just was so good, you know. And so for us, like, our clients were walking billboard advertisements for our salon because they had our work on them, you know, in terms of their hair, they might have their outfit, they were visually interesting to look at, they had an amazing style. And so then people would see them and be like, how do you get this look? How do you do this? Like, where, how, what? Your style is amazing. Tell me how do you do this? And so we would get so many referrals. Like, we were a very heavily referral based business because our clients made our work look amazing in between sessions, and we empowered them to do that through education. We empowered them to do that through aftercare and after service products, right? Like, so take home products. We empowered them with demonstrating to them, educating them how to style their hair, how to take care of their hair, how to do all those sort of things. And they did it because the results were amazing and they felt great and they got lots of positive attention in the world. Like, people would smile at them walking down the street. People would smile at them when they came into the shops. They would get special attention in the bar or the clubs or the festivals. Like, they just felt special, right? And so we used to get so many referrals based from our clients because they looked amazing. And so referral business is amazing. Like, you want to have referrals coming into your business because those clients have already seen what you're capable of and they already have an openness to trusting you. And it's much easier when someone has seen our work, especially in that business, when someone had seen our work, even if they felt like a fish out of water because they had natural hair, they'd never colored their hair before, no tattoos, no piercings, they weren't there, but they wanted it. Because they had a referral, they knew that they could trust us, versus if they hadn't had a referral, people might feel a bit intimidated, for example. So people would see our clients, be absolutely captivated, and could not help but check us out. So that's when you're great at what you do and you become the go-to for what it is that you do, the outcome that you create or you deliver to your clients, then you become the go-to. So in terms of my last business, the hair salon, which was fashion boutique, it wasn't just a salon, it was an education company, it was a product distribution company, it was all these things, but I call it a hair salon. We were the first thing that our clients would think of when they got the tax back, the tax refund back, when they had a birthday coming, have to book my appointment, mum, dad, friends, brothers, partners, lovers, everybody has to buy my hair. It was like the Christmas list was obviously going to be a voucher from our salon. If they were going on a date night, of course they'd have to come in and get their hair done. If they had a celebration of some form, or a graduation of some form, if there's any kind of festival coming up or special occasion coming up, they would come, because our products and services were highly valued and enhanced their experience of life. And so what we want to make sure is that our vibe and our point of difference is really expressed through every aspect of our business, right? Because it is an honor and a privilege to be the chosen one, to be the go-to. It takes work to get there. It takes dedication to get there. It takes intention to get there. But when you are the destination experience, then you are the first business that people will think of when they are in that situation where they desire to have your product. Because there's no part of your business that isn't part of that experience, right? So when I first left engineering, I wanted to talk about this, share this little story time with you guys, because it really is part of this, like, being the destination experience. And so for me, I went from engineering, yes, I was a mechanical engineer, to working in my partner's hair salon. Okay, so I went from an engineer and I apprenticed myself to my partner to learn hairdressing whilst I took over the reins of growing the business. Now, when I worked as an engineer, I never wore makeup because I was surrounded by men, and if I was going to start wearing makeup, it wasn't appropriate. It was like, oh, who are you trying to impress? Like, why would you bring attractiveness into the workplace? It was just like, you don't do that. You don't try to make yourself attractive in a male-dominated area. It's just like bad news. You don't do that, right? And so, and I was a feminist, and we don't need makeup. Even though I loved makeup, like I enjoyed makeup. I enjoyed makeup for like going out, but working in a salon was my everyday. So it was like my everyday work experience. So why would I do that to myself to start wearing makeup? But then I realized that our clients were showing up and they were like done to the nines. Like their hair is obviously not, but their makeup would be, their clothes would be, they'd have cute outfits on, they'd have their makeup looking amazing, and then they would need to get their hair sorted. And I realized that they were putting way more effort into their appearance to come to our business because it was special for them. It was a special opportunity for them to get dressed up. It was an opportunity for them to put some energy and effort into their appearance, to have some fun with their appearance. And it was exciting to them to get their hair done. And so I thought, yeah, I don't need to wear makeup, but if this is a special occasion for them and the visual identity inside our business was like very strong, had very beautiful like decor, like it was very colorful and rich, and like a David LaChapelle photo shoot basically. It was all like very interesting and beautiful, like very like edgy magazines, interesting edgy magazine, interesting edgy decor, interesting edgy conversations, interesting edgy music, right? And so I thought, well, I can put a bit more effort into my appearance, right? And I started playing with makeup more again, and I started having fun with it, like in a way that I had never had fun with it. And then I learned makeup artistry. I became a makeup artist, and that meant that I could offer makeup artistry in the salon. We could sell products like makeup in our salon. And then I started doing all the makeup on our photo shoots, which was like the most exciting thing ever, because I could make them as exactly how I imagined them to be, right? Whereas trying to convey that to a makeup artist who's normally doing kind of more commercial looks, to be like, come on, let's have some fun, let's see what you can do, like, and it just wasn't translating, right? So I embraced makeup, trained as a makeup artist, brought that to the makeup shoots, and then we started getting editorial work. We started doing like photo shoots for the brand deals that we had. So it was basically just elevated the overall visual identity of our business. That one little observation, that embracing that, and the opportunity that came because I listened and I embraced it, and then it just elevated and kept evolving. And so this is like why understanding the destination experience, what is the immersive experience that you're creating for your clients, is so important. This is branding, okay? This is what it is. This is branding. Branding is the experience your clients have of your business, and it starts from the very beginning, the very first encounters, and all the way through to the product delivery, service delivery, and beyond, right? Because even if people only buy from you once, they still can give referrals, right? They can still, that relationship on how they complete is still important, because they might, it's how they remember you, right? So very, very important. Now, if you have a bricks and mortar store, you're not online, you're not really doing an online business, then, I mean, obviously everybody has social media platforms and has an online component to your business. But if your business is predominantly offline, your bricks and mortar store, then this would be curating the decor. This would be curating the location of your business, curating your team's visual identity, curating the displays, the products. Your pricing is also part of this branding experience. And also, what are the surrounding businesses in your location as well? It all, like, what are you in proximity to? Our last salon was right next door to like a really popular tattoo studio, and that was fantastic for us. It was an aligned identity for us. Okay, so, and here's another example. So when we had our salon, one of the things that I did was I designed our own reusable bags, so that when people bought products, when people bought fashion from our store, if they got shampoo, or if they got, any kind of product from us, take home product from us, they got one of our bags, and they were like quite a large, as a perfect tote bag, and it was pastel pink, of course, with our logo printed on it and our web address. And we had a really cool logo. Our web address was really cool. Very simple, and the bags, everyone who saw the bags were like, can I have one of those? And it's like, well, you have to buy something to get one, right? And what would happen is our clients would come and get their hair done, or they'd buy something, they'd have their outfit, and they would use that bag as their little tote bag everywhere they went. They'd use it. They'd take it with them. And so not only did they have the visual representation of our services, but then they had they were walking billboards for us, literally, because they had our website on there and our logo on the body, like with their tote bags. And so people would be like, ooh, look at them. They look really cool. Like, look at that visually interesting person. Look at their style is really cool. I wonder what that web address is for. And so, of course, it costs more money to create those bags, but compared to like just a plain brown paper bag, right? Which is what we used to do. But we got extra advertising without, people having to even have that conversation, right? And so why not do something like that? Like, why do a generic bag when you could do a branded bag, right? That promotes your name and is associated with your product or your service, and in a way that looks really good for you, right? Now, if you're exclusively online, you don't have a bricks and mortar store, or you're not like somewhere where people come to buy from you, then you want to make sure that your visual home base, your visual representation, your visual identity is really aligned with your point of difference, that the essence of you, your vibe, is really being expressed and communicated through your channels, right? And so this means that your website, your social media platforms, your images, your content, your opt-ins, the tone of the language in which you use, your sayings, is all really true to you, right? So those scripts, the scripts, look, I've done it. I've bought templates before. I've used scripts because that's what my coaches have told me to use. It's okay to start with them, but you want to pretty much get rid of them as soon as you can, right? As soon as you're like, okay, all right, okay, I know what we've got to talk about here. Just get used to it, get rid of it. Get used to it, get rid of it. And if you go back through my lives and my content, you'll see that there's been different shifts in the vibe in terms of how I write, how I communicate my message, how I frame the value of the work that I do. And you'll see that has evolved, and it's going to keep evolving. And so what I really would want to share with you is just to understand that this all takes time. It takes process. You need to actually do. You need to do. Give it a go. Get moving. Doing it. Implementing it. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be amazing the first time you write posts. It's not going to be amazing the first time you do a shoot. It's not going to be amazing the first time that you create this. Even for me, where I've had plenty of experience in creating content and images and things like that from my last business, it was a separate identity to me. Whereas now my work, my business is a personal brand. It's my brand. It's not a third party brand, which it was before. And so the perfectionist and the procrastination, because they kind of go hand in hand, right? It can come in and be like, well, this isn't good enough, or I don't really know where I'm going with this, or I need to know what this is going to look like before I start sharing. I need to know that this is the one, right? That kind of situation. Excuse me. But you don't. And the thing is, when what you're doing is you're just slowing everything down. So the most important thing I would say is just to get started. Get started, see how you feel about it, see what lands, see what you enjoy, and keep refining it. Refine, let it evolve, let it grow, let it be half-assed. If that's all you can get out, just start. And let it be iterative, right? Your branding is going to evolve and grow over time. Even if you invest thousands of dollars for a branding strategist to come in and do it for you, it's going to evolve over time. And I honestly, I've seen people do that, and really, I think it's good for 12 months. So if you're happy to invest that kind of money every 12 months to update your branding, make it more current, make it more reflective of where you are now, go for it. Or you can just take it on yourself and be like, well, what is the experience I'm giving my clients? How can I curate an experience for my clients? How can I curate an experience for my audience so that they understand who I am, what I'm offering, what the value of working with me is, and what it would feel like to be in my world, what it would feel like to be receiving the products or services that I offer, what it would be like to have that experience, right? And so this means that, you need to be really intentional in curating your client's journey. So when you build that destination experience, building that immersive experience, you're curating it from the very first encounter, from the first communication, the first interaction, and the first exchange, right? And what we want to do is make sure we are identifying where there's friction, and being creative and curious about how can I reduce the friction? How can I enhance their experience of my business, experience of my point of difference, experience of my vibe, right? And so this means that you might really look at the very, the very furthest point from you in terms of when someone comes into your audience, and then what is their journey like? How do they come into your world? How do they find you? What are they likely to see, think, hear, or feel of you? And then what are the elements around that? Like, what do you have control over, right? You have control over your words, your images. You have control over the styling. You have control over, whether your clients have used a brown paper bag or a beautiful pastel pink reusable bag, right? So it's like, it all makes a difference. And so what are the opportunities for infusing the different aspects of your business, whether it be the decor, whether it be the music, whether it be your products, your services, whether it be your emails, your social media platforms, your opt-ins? How can you infuse more of your vibe, more of your point of difference into that particular aspect of your business? Okay. And yeah, so I'm just gonna take a breath, because that's like, I've only got really one more thing that I want to say. So I feel like I've galloped through today's training, which is fine. I'm happy with it. Let me know what's landing for you. Are you getting any ideas? Are you thinking about anything that might be inspiring for you, that you're like, that's actually not a bad idea? Like, is there anything landing for you in terms of how you can infuse your vibe into the interface between you and your audience, and into the experience that you take your clients on? And finally, the final thing that I want to say, let me just double check that I've covered all the points that I wanted to. Yeah. So when I'm talking about point of difference as well, I mean, I really talk about that in the first workshop. But I will say this. When you really understand your point of difference, you are really answering two questions, or a couple of questions that are along this theme, right? Why would someone buy from you? Right? That's really the main one. Why would someone buy from you? As opposed to the 1,000 other businesses operating in your area or in your state or in your region who deliver the same. Why would they buy from you? And then also thinking about, well, why would they walk past all those other businesses to come to you? What is it about your business, the experience you give your clients? What is it about that brings them in, that they would forsake everybody else to come and see you? Okay, and there'll be something there. There will be something there. And if you're not sure what that is, then you need to go deeper in what you are a master at, to really understand what's unique about your approach. What is the unique about the product or service or the outcome of working with you? Go deeper with it. Go back to watch the first video and go deeper with it. And so, for me, for my last business, we were in an area where every second shop was like a hairdressing salon. Like, it was like, when we first started, there was hardly any salons, but then because of the vibe and because of the changing demographics in that area, but also because of a lot of the work that we did, it became known for good hair, right? Like people were like, oh yeah, I go to Newtown. That's where my salon was. We'll go to Newtown to get my hair done. And Newtown became known for the place to go if you wanted something really cool or edgy done with your hair. And partly because we didn't have the bags, right? And our clients would be like, oh, just go to Newtown. I don't want to tell. Like, this is the funny thing about clients who love you, right? If they feel like you might get too busy or too big or too popular, they might not want to let people know, right? So where they go, and I've seen this not just in my own business, I've seen this in other businesses as well, where, you know, where the clients highly desire something that's very bespoke and unique and creative. They want to be the ones who have it because they value it, and they don't necessarily want to share the source of their very special piece with their friends or family, because then someone else is going to go get something similar too, and they won't feel as special, right? And it's sad, but it's true. It's sad but true. So we would have clients who would travel from all over Australia to come and get their hair done with us, and they would be walking past 20 or 30 other salons who all look good, who all, you know, look good, sound good, look amazing, but they'd come to see us because we had such a strong point of difference. So it's very, very important. Okay, so the last thing that I would say, and I've touched on this a little bit before, and that is to really showcase the destination experience in your marketing, in your media, on your socials, so that your audience can imagine, they can visualize, they can almost touch that experience of receiving or buying from you, right? So it's like, you want to help your audience to imagine what would it be like for them to get to work with you or buy from you. Now, you know, for a hairdressing salon, it was like before and afters. Because if someone has like beautiful long pink hair and they've got their makeup done and they've got a cool outfit, you just tend to think that they must have always had amazing style. Yet when they don't. They don't. You know, some people, you know, it's like the style hasn't been able to be expressed through them because they haven't been able to find someone to unlock it, right? And so this is the thing, like with the before and after, it's like before the transformation. People can relate to the before. When you see the before, if you're like a design company, the before, you know, the before room that is just like the forgotten space, you know, and then the after is this beautiful sanctuary. People can't relate. They can aspire to the after, but they might not be able to relate to the after, whereas they can relate to the dingy, forgotten room. The same with like decor, or the same with like the if you're a PT with your body, you know, it's like people relate to the befores and less to they aspire to the afters, relate to the befores and aspire to the afters. So let them put themselves into the experience, help them to connect the dots so that they can be like, I relate to that person's before story and I aspire to that person's outcome. Excuse me. My voice is not used to talking so much. So, I think that pretty much covers it. So, yeah, with that last point, you just really want to bring them into the experience. And we have this gift called social media. We have this gift called marketing, whether it be email marketing, whether it be an opt-in, whether it be your website or YouTube or anything like that. Like, we have this gift of being able to capture an experience through media, through testimonials, through photos, through videos, through the written word. We can we can help create an immersive experience that helps our clients, that builds a bridge for our audience to become clients. And that is such a gift. That is such a game changer. When we can embrace social media, when we can embrace our branding and our marketing, we can understand the value of it and not be put off by the jargon words, right? And just understand, well, this is just really about building a bridge and helping to bring clients into the outcome that they desire. And then once they imagine and see themselves doing that, then it's a simple matter. It's much more easier for them to take the action, to make the appointment, to place an order, to organize the consultation, to have a discovery call, to have a clarity call. And so when we can do that, it makes it easier. There's less resistance into the customer journey, into your business. And then with your point of difference, with your mastery, with your aligned offerings, you can give them a very well-rounded experience where they feel cared for, they feel held, they feel like they're receiving everything that they want. Okay, so it's like, this is the full service business, right? And the outcome is happy and satisfied and appreciative and grateful for both people, for both parties. So that is today's workshop. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you've gotten some value from this. I hope that it's opened up some doors for you to imagine what it would be like for you to create an immersive destination experience in your business. I hope you've gotten some ideas about that. I think I've got a delivery about to arrive. If you would like to take this deeper and to take your business to the next level, then I invite you to come and join me in the Boss Lady Empire Next Live program, which is starting in early August. It's coming up. I have a limited number of opportunities to join me at a very, very accessible price. It's $3,333, so $3,333. It's normally $7,000, and there are payment plans available. It's a 12-week program where we're going to go deep in curating your business experience, your branding, your marketing, as well as cultivating your boss lady identity, addressing anything that might be holding you back. It's a very powerful program. It's my life's work. I love it. I love working with women in this way. And if you have any questions, we can do a clarity call. Otherwise, just send me a message and you can sign up, and we'll be starting early August. Can't wait to see you then. Big love. Bye.